Hello and welcome to the Knights of the Round Table. This is our second podcast, and we talk about different topics, Doctor Who, science fiction, comic books, and whatnot. And our first podcast was about superhero movies in general. This one that we're talking about today is about the Avengers movie. More talking about how good it was and what potentially could happen in the future for the next Avengers movie and what we liked about it and all that. So let's go to it. My name is Ken Parker, and to my left I have
Paul Corey,
Kurt Zara,
Jeff Zara,
Vernon Hill.
And we're here today to talk about the Avengers movie. How it could have been a lot better, and it was really not that good.
Yeah, worst movie ever.
No.
No?
He's joking.
I walked out of it 4 times.
Oh, you did? Okay.
He's joking.
When did you walk out?
I'm still looking for.
Every time I want to see it.
I'm still looking for my free ticket for shawarma.
Shawarma.
Mama.
So anyways, we had a podcast a few months ago about superhero movies, and we were all looking forward to the Avengers. Now that we've all seen it, did it meet our expectations, and did it go past our expectations?
Past mine.
Mine.
Past.
Yeah, I would probably say past my expectations.
Yeah.
You sort of expected, like a lot of movies, you saw the greatest clips in the trailers. The movie was better than in the trailers.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I thought one of the things that the movie needed to do was to get everyone... First, they had to capture the characters. And I had forgotten, but Joss Whedon is really good at capturing characters. I mean, especially ensemble casts like Firefly. And he did absolutely perfect with it. Now, again, he didn't design these characters. These characters were designed by Marvel or whoever and really done well in all the movies. So it was going to be hard for anyone to screw this up, but he did better than not screwing it up. He brought everyone together and gave everyone important parts to do and everything. I thought that was really well done.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, he all of his other shows, he does do great work with. And one of the things I was actually going to say with regards to that with the ensemble cast is, even though these are established characters, he did do a great job of introducing them. And getting people to understand who they were in a short period of time. So you didn't have to spend too much time focusing on who Captain America was, who Thor was, and where they all came from.
So do you think somebody who hadn't seen any of the movies would be able to watch this? Or
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think it's hard for us to say that, though, because we knew all
I did see it with someone who hadn't seen the other movies.
Oh, really? Okay. And they enjoyed it?
Yeah. She's 12 years old, and she really liked it. But
See,
again, she hadn't seen Captain America or Thor or anything.
I think you would get more, obviously you would get more out of it if you knew more about the characters and stuff.
True.
But, well, that's good that he was able to do that.
She.
I said...
That Joss Whedon was able to.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I think one of the strong parts of the movie was that there wasn't a character just stuffed in the background where that you forget about them.
Yeah.
All the characters had more or less equal time.
Yeah, they did.
Same time.
and well, I thought that's a good point, because not only were they all kind of had individuals to do, and each time one of them would meet up with another one, it was really, I was all like, oh, this is going to be cool, because this is the first time the two of them met, and sometimes it would just be like, oh, by the way, it's nice to meet you, and other times it was a fight or something. But I thought there was one clip, well, I think I'm jumping ahead, but talking about dealing with all the characters at once, I thought one of the best scenes was an ongoing tracking shot that never cut of all of them in the middle of the battle. And they were all doing something, and it was neat how it started with one character, and then you go to another character. Maybe we would meet up with one of the other characters that we've already seen, but they're teaming up with someone else now. And they did a really good job. It was encompassing the whole battle in one shot and showing what each of the characters is doing in the battle, which I would have thought they wouldn't have been able to do. I would have thought a couple of them would be off the side going, what are we going to do, you know? Especially Black Widow and Hawkeye.
Right.
Because they were out, you know, but they gave them plenty to do. I think Hawkeye...
Especially in the battles, too. They all
Yeah.
focused on one person during the battles doing their own thing.
Right.
Hawkeye got left behind a little bit. But, I mean...
Little tiny bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Okay, good.
Actually,
He redeemed himself.
Yeah, thank you for saying that whole thing about the tracking shot, because I had totally forgotten that one scene. There were several points in the movie where I was expecting to see the Joss Whedon signature, you know, tracking scene, circular, going all the way around everybody, that he does in everything.
Yeah.
And there were so many spots in it they could have, and I totally forgot that one. Because that would be the only thing I would have said I didn't like about it, because I didn't really see that before.
Yeah.
But otherwise, yeah, the directing, the story, the dialogue, everything was really, really good.
Did anyone expect as much humor as there was in it?
No, I didn't.
No.
Yeah.
I was afraid of me too much. Because as soon as I heard Joss Whedon was assigned to the project, I was like, oh no. Now everyone who doesn't like Joss Whedon is going to say, oh great, this is just going to be a laugh, jokey and stuff like that. And there were maybe one or two scenes where it started to push the envelope a little bit, but no, it was perfect. Everything, the characters were matched perfectly. It wasn't like anything was over the top. Maybe the last scene was a little bit out of, but...
What are you defining as the last scene?
Well, the final...
The final
the
scene?
restaurant scene there, but...
Yeah.
But that was good.
That's the funniest part ever.
So, I think there were a lot of good characters supporting the main cast as well. I mean, we had, I mean, if you boil down the plot, the story is aliens are coming from another dimension to take over the Earth or destroy the Earth. So what? That's really stupid. That's not a really good plot. Battleship has the same plot as Avengers, basically. But he managed. Joss Whedon managed to take the characters and plug them into that plot and make it interesting and make it not seem like
Trying to get all 6 of them to come together as a
yeah.
team.
That was probably better part of the movie than the actual battle. The actual battle was it was good. They definitely did a good job, like I mentioned.
But you've seen battles like that before,
Yeah.
like in Transformers or in, like you said, Battleship.
But it's almost like the climax of the movie is when all of them said, let's get together and do this. And then you're like, that's it right there. I don't care what happens after this.
After Agent Coulson got killed.
Yeah.
It was also right after the ship first got hit.
Right.
They've just been arguing and arguing
Yeah,
and arguing.
that was a good, especially using the same line that,
Yes.
that Captain America had been using of, yeah, go ahead, put on your suit, and then all of a sudden, bam, the ship gets hit. Put on your suit.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
I've always the other shows that Joss Whedon has ever done, Serenity, Firefly, Buffy. I've loved how he's made it more that the movie is more the characters, and that like the plot line of the alien invasion is just kind of secondary to the characters, which that really is what makes it for me. The fact that you could sit there and watch this movie and anything could have happened. It could have been, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man could have been attacking, and I still would have said it was a great movie because I loved the way the characters were developed.
Yeah, it was definitely a character-driven movie until the last half hour when it was the big battle.
Right.
But it was even Loki too, as the antagonist of getting them all together. Mm-hmm. As it was pretty. Let's just use Loki as one key central character and just leave who he's working for the very end. Be the antagonist to get these people all together at the beginning, and to introduce Thor again because they never did explain how
They never explained how he got
came
back.
Oh,
back.
he did. Loki says to him at one point, how much black magic did they have to conjure up
That's true.
to get you here?
Oh, that's true.
That's right. Yeah, so they at least acknowledged that.
If you watch it 4 or 5 times, you catch lines like that.
You have no life, do you?
No, I thought there was. I found very little flaws in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you can analyze it if you watch it 4 or 5 times, like Vern has. You might be able to see things that I wish they had done that, or maybe they could have done that, or whatever. But The one thing that I thought was the weakest part of the movie, and it's not that bad because within 5 minutes I'm completely ignoring it, was there was a build-up of the Bruce Banner Incredible Hulk character being someone that's out of control. And the Black Widow, who's a character who does not get fazed by anything, was scared to death in the shot where he turned into the Incredible Hulk.
Right.
And she got out of it barely. She got knocked down, and she was shaking after that. Then within 10 minutes later, Bruce Banner comes walking up and goes, "Rrr," turns into the Hulk, and everything's fine. The battle continues. There was there's at one point the Incredible Hulk is out of control, and now he's figured out how to control him. And I understand. I've heard you guys can talk. You can tell me what happened, but I still think it was not explained properly in the movie. I thought it was a little jarring. Again, after the battle started, I kind of said, "Yeah, whatever." I ignored it. But
The only thing I will say on that is I think they put that last part when he just showed up in the middle of New York City with them and instantly transformed. That was only to be done so that way you didn't have to figure out a way for them to make the aliens attack Bruce Banner to get him angry enough to turn him into the Hulk. Mm-hmm. So, because if the Avengers got him angry enough, he would have fought the Avengers and wouldn't have dealt with the aliens. Yeah. But it was still nice. It was just, my little secret is I'm always angry. Yeah. And boom, there he is.
Well, they indicated, too, that even when Black Widow goes to visit him, that he even says he's had it under control.
Right.
And I think the scene on the ship, the explosion, he wasn't under control then.
Right.
It was something that happened to him.
Right.
Whereas with the battle,
didn't he get hit in the head or something, or knocked?
He fell through with the floor.
Yeah, so he was kind of probably loopy.
Yeah. So if he decides to turn into a Hulk, he can control it. But if something happens,
catches him unawares, that's the only explanation.
Makes sense.
Complex stories where Bruce Banner can change back and forth to the Hulk at will, but they haven't explained that in the movies yet.
Right.
So
there was a
inconsistency.
couple of years in the comic books where Banner was in control of the Hulk, where it was the Hulk body with Banner's brain.
Yeah.
Which thankfully they've taken that part away because that just made him too powerful of a character. But yeah, it's just I just saw it more as a plot device of here we are just to make him turn into the Incredible Hulk so we don't have to bother trying to figure out some other way to do it.
Yeah.
Well, my flaw I had with the movie was, Captain America using a gun. He generally doesn't shoot guns.
Right.
Did he use one in his movie?
But that was World War II.
Actually, the World War II version, the original comic book, yes, he did.
But in modern time, he doesn't use a gun.
But see,
and on the helicarrier, he was shooting the gun.
Right. I thought that was great when they did that because that's his character.
Right.
What?
Shot or be shot.
Well,
yeah.
That's exactly what his character in the movies would have done. I don't know about comic books, but in the movie he was a soldier.
Right.
And then he was still a soldier when he got knocked out. He wakes up and he's in today's world, and not much time has passed for him. So why wouldn't he have picked up a gun? And
I don't know. It just seems kind of odd because you're not used to seeing Captain America use weapons. Like Batman doesn't use a gun, and Batman never started.
But Captain America was a soldier. He used weapons.
I know. But nowadays,
they give you a good reason why Batman will never use a gun. Right. However, there have been those stories where he does get lured by it and says maybe I have to use it every now and again. But still, even in the movies for Batman, he still has machine guns on the Batmobile.
Yeah, that's kind of stupid too. But the other problem I kind of had, I wasn't really keen on Captain America's modern day costume. I just didn't.
What didn't you like about it?
It was too sleek, too modern. Where it could have been a little bit more retro-ish. Not like the World War II one, but this one just seemed like too spaceship type. Futuristic, where it could have
I definitely saw it as them trying to say, okay, we're going to make the Captain America suit without making it a spandex suit, a padded spandex suit.
They wanted to make it tight for some reason.
Right.
It was too modernish, kind of like futuristic, when they could have maybe made it more as it is. Well, sort of like in the comic, but not the red, white, and blue, but kind of make it a little bit more modern day instead of trying to make it realistic.
Dark?
Well, I mean, they definitely had Coulson say that he added his own little flair to it
Yeah.
in helping to design the suit for him. I mean, it's not like somebody else saying that, the J. Jonah Jameson mustache was too small or too big, and that took him completely out of the movie. The suit wasn't that bad.
Well, I mean, compared to the rest of the characters, you have a golden red,
Yeah.
a golden red Iron Man, a green Hulk, and I mean,
And two people
Well,
in
the
black.
Black Widow's costume was consistent.
Yeah, actually, the only thing I would have said I would have liked if they had actually tried to do Hawkeye's costume.
Yeah, the one with the mask and all
Yeah,
that.
granted, it would have been purple, but still, to try and do Hawkeye's actual costume.
But that's what Hawkeye looks like now in the comics anyway, so...
And yeah, I know that most of this is actually taken from the Ultimates universe.
Yeah.
And I think it might not be too tight.
you were looking at the tightness of his
Just
uniform.
Black Widows can be tight, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't tight enough.
Yeah, actually, I'm sorry. As nice as it looks, there's no reason she needs to be wearing high heels.
What? She's wearing high heels?
They weren't
Remember, she
super
picked him up
high.
after this little
Oh yeah,
interrogation scene.
I
Yes.
hadn't noticed that.
But no, I mean, like in her actual
looking at her
costume, they weren't
who's-
sensible
you were
shoes.
looking at
They
her
actually had
shoes?
heels.
Why would you be looking at her shoes? That's the last thing I was
That's
looking
when they
at.
had the close-up of the shoes. That was all you
Okay, it was going down the legs that I saw the shoes.
It'd be interesting to see the Blu-ray release because there was an interview with Chris Evans about. He said the Avengers movie was from his character's point of view, and it really wasn't. So there's a lot of stuff they cut out, including I heard. Maybe you told me this.
Maybe. I know I did hear about that. It was like another 30 some odd minutes
Yeah.
dealing with him and with Steve Rogers dealing with being in our present day. I think one of them was he actually goes and finds his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Wasn't it like the movie was like close to like 3 hours?
Something
plus?
like that. And so all that's going to go on it has already been said it's going to be on the Blu-ray.
Yeah, there was that, and there's a couple other clips. I think there was one or two that were in the trailer that didn't show up.
Well, there's a couple
Right.
of pictures where they showed Steve Rogers sitting at a restaurant, outside a restaurant, because there's a picture of Stan Lee sitting at another table across from Chris
really?
Evans. It was supposed to be the scene where he had his cameo, but they changed it to the grumpy old man on
Oh.
the TV. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of stuff that was, and they did bunch of more filming at Central Park too.
Well, they in the trailer, the clip of the exploding bus or whatever behind Scarlett Johansson wasn't in the movie.
Right.
At least not that angle, anyways. But
They also could have just been filmed for the trailer because they do
Yeah.
film stuff for the trailer.
But
I can't wait to the next one.
what would they do in the next one? See, my guess is that they're going to have all the movies again, another set of movies. The whole, I mean,
Well, they're going to lead up to Thanos coming to Earth.
what was your favorite scene in the movie
Favorite
besides the Scarlett Johansson being tied up? That's a given.
That's every guy's favorite.
Well, I think
scene.
what caught me most by surprise and what I enjoyed was the fact that the Hulk was a comedian for a little bit. Mm-hmm. You know, when he punched Thor,
Yes.
when he basically beat the crap out of Loki and then walks away and mutters to himself.
Puny God.
Yes.
Yes.
Those are the ones, I think, because they were most unexpected, so
Yeah.
in some
Right.
ways those are the favorite scenes.
I liked when Thor and Captain America were battling it out. And Iron Man comes down there, thou not taketh my
That's
property.
the other way around.
And they start having a big smackdown, and Captain America comes in and stops the fight, and more or less gets all three of them.
Does mother know you're wearing her drapes?
That was just like the classic superhero smackdown between two heroes. It was, and Loki. I mean, you're sitting at Loki, going like, well, here's your chance to run away, but because Captain America's just watching him. You can easily just take out Captain America, and he's just standing there watching the two powerhouses go at it.
What's your favorite scene, Kurt?
The one where they are in the war when Iron Man falls down and the Hulk catches him.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I thought he would never catch him.
Actually, one of my favorite scenes was in the lab on the ship,
Oh, yeah.
where they're arguing and they're kind of like jumping around to show everybody's doing all the face shots of everybody, and then they finally stop and they have I think it was Tony Stark saying, Bruce, can you put the staff down?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you just see that he's just standing there. Nothing looked like it ever changed, and he's holding the Loki staff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would have
that's
to
the
say
fun
the Hulk scenes with
Yeah.
Thor and Loki. Because it was funny because we didn't hear what he said afterwards. Everyone was laughing so hard. We didn't. I had to go online afterwards and find out what he
the
had
scene
said.
in Grand Central where the Hulk just smacks.
No,
Thor away.
well, the Loki scene because
Yeah.
he says
Oh.
puny god, but we didn't hear it. Mm-hmm. So on the way home, one of my friends had guessed that that's what he had said. And then when I went online, I found it. But it was just, laughing, and you miss half the movie afterwards because you're still laughing about that 5 minutes later. But
Actually, one of my favorite Hulk scenes was when Hulk and Thor were fighting, and Hulk goes to pick up Mjolnir.
Oh, yeah.
oh yeah,
And he's like trying to pick the hammer
And
up
he
off the
couldn't.
ground, and he
He's like-
couldn't. He like nonchalantly reaches for it, grabs like, whoa, what the?
He's like,
Also, the other scene was in the Quinjet there. They're flying back to the helicarrier, and Loki's getting all nervous because it's starting to lightning.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they're all looking at what's wrong. He says, "I don't like lightning." And I go, "What do you mean?" He says, "I don't like what comes with the lightning." And all of a sudden, Thor just comes in and takes it away.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. That would catch the fight.
I just wish they didn't kill Agent Coulson because he was a cool character.
Yeah.
But you can see why they did it though.
Yeah.
No one in science fiction dies, so you never know.
Actually, Joss Whedon loves killing off characters.
That's true, too.
But actually, I also loved
point.
I also loved his dying line. So that's what it does.
So that's the end of our podcast. As you can imagine, we probably went on for another 15 minutes talking about various things. We hope to come back at you at some point in the near future with another topic, and thank you for listening.